WBIR 10 News starts now.
For 21 days now, our government has been working just part way with essentials still running. But national park work, food inspections, federal housing loans, they are all scaled back, some even on hold.
We tied the record for the longest government shutdown today in U.S. history. Again, it's a benchmark that is changing lives.
It is the fact that hundreds of thousands of American families are missing their first paycheck. The delay stems from a refusal by both parties to compromise on the president's proposed border wall. So we want to know what you think at this point. Is the fight for border wall funding worth continuing the shutdown? You can weigh in at WBIR.com/vote or in the WBIR app. And while you do, reporter Blaine Alexander reports on the state of the shutdown.
For more than 800,000 federal employees, Friday's pay stub looks like this: $0. It's a grim milestone just hours before the government shutdown becomes the longest in U.S. history.
I was able to pay my mortgage this month, but I don't know about next month.
With Congress still deadlocked, all eyes are on President Trump, who has suggested he may go around lawmakers altogether and declare a national emergency to build the wall.
I have the absolute right to do it. I'd rather not do it because this is something that Congress should easily do.
The president calling the border situation far worse than anyone would understand, an invasion, and saying with a wall it can be stopped cold. Some lawmakers see a national emergency declaration as the only way out.
We need to do something. I mean, we need to have an end game. If the end game is an emergency declaration by the president, do it now.
But other Republicans disagree.
The real concern that I have is the precedent that this then sets.
And some Democrats have already promised legal challenges.
The yeas are 411 and the nays are 7.
Meanwhile, Congress agreeing on at least one thing, passing a bill to ensure federal workers do get back pay once the shutdown is over. Blaine Alexander, NBC News, Washington.
And any more action will likely have to wait until Monday. Most of Congress has already left the Capitol for the weekend.
Here in Knoxville, TSA employees are thankful for a food donation while money is tight. Right now, they're working, but they're not getting paid. Second Harvest Food Bank partnered with the local American Federation of Government Employees chapter to give out turkeys, ham, and other food. They each received a box as they left to go home. Off-duty TSA employee Zach Chapman says because he's part-time with TSA, the gap in paychecks hurts even more.
Not very often somebody just hands you a full turkey and ham, and I don't know what all they gave in the boxes, but I'm sure it's going to be nice when I go home and I'll call my mom and be like, hey, I just got a bunch of food from work. I was like, if you want to come over and help me make some of it. So yeah, it's going to help a lot.
The truck will stay in the parking lot at the airport all weekend. Tonight on 10 News at 6, we'll hear from a TSA worker and single father who says the food will be a huge help.
And in the face of a wave of closures, one group is providing a spot of light. Today, the Great Smoky Mountains Association reopened the visitor center on the Cades Cove Loop. That's the one on the far end of the loop near the cabins. The association is staffing that center and maintaining the bathrooms, which are now open again at only that location. One worker says they're not just there to welcome visitors.
Not only are we here to sell goods, but we also are a listening post if anything happens out on the loop. If people break down or such as that, then we can communicate with the skeleton crew of rangers that are out there to be able to take care of them.
3 other centers are open all along the edge of the park. They are operated with the help of Gatlinburg, Townsend, and Bryson City.
And we asked what you think of the ongoing shutdown. Is it worth it, continuing it, in order to hold out for border wall funding? And the vast majority of you, more than 300 already voting, say yes, indeed, the shutdown is worth it. We'll keep you updated throughout newscasts as you continue to vote. And 21 days in, developments are still developing on this shutdown almost hourly. You can find out what's happening and what's closed with back payments from lawmakers that have been approved and whether an end is in sight. All of that is being updated as we speak at WBIR.com.
Moving now to our forecast. Another sunny day in East Tennessee, yet cold. This was the scene earlier today near Cades Cove in the Smokies. Our photographer spotting an otter slipped into that frigid water right there.
Nice day for a dip. Chief Meteorologist Todd Howell joins us with more on what we can expect over the next 24 hours. Todd, some snowfall and rain both headed our way.
Yeah, you know, it looks like a little bit of light sleet possible early Saturday morning before that quickly moves out. And really the better chances for a little light sleet, maybe a light snow mixture, is across far northern parts of East Tennessee. Donna, Robin, back to you.
All right, Todd, thanks.
You're welcome.
A Wisconsin teenager missing almost 3 months is once again safe. Jamie Kloss disappeared in October, the same day police found her parents murdered. Since then, the search has been underway, and yesterday, police say Jamie appeared in a Wisconsin neighborhood and asked a woman for help. Police announced today that a 21-year-old man is charged with murdering her parents and the kidnapping of that young woman.
Well, for the first time, we are hearing from the other person in the car with Pierce Corcoran during the crash on Chapman Highway that took his life. Jade Adams was Pierce's girlfriend. She says she lost her best friend that evening. Knoxville police say 44-year-old Francisco Eduardo swerved into oncoming traffic to avoid a slowing car and hit Pierce's car head-on. Francisco Eduardo is charged with criminally negligent homicide. As Pierce's girlfriend returns to school and work, she's learning to live without him. 10 News reporter Mark Salinger spoke with her for the first time. Mark.
Robin and John, Jade Adams doesn't remember a lot from the crash, just screaming Pierce's name and seeing him lying injured in the grass on the side of the highway. Pierce and Jade had dated for 6 months at the time of the crash. She says they spent every single day together. They were out on a routine errand to buy a new vacuum cleaner when tragedy struck the young couple.
The car was spinning. It could have, at that point, that could have been a 50-50 chance that one of us couldn't have made, or both of us couldn't have made it. So I am going to live my life for Pierce.
Jade was also injured in the crash. She suffered a fractured nose, fractures in her back, and a partially collapsed lung. She returned back to school to finish up her senior year this week. She says that's what Pierce would have wanted her to do. Robin and John.
All right. Mark, thank you.
Already, we have covered a range of angles to this story, from the grief of friends and family members to the dangers of a notorious highway and the role that this case is playing in the immigration debate. I spoke with Pierce's mom and dad about their political frustrations and why they are sharing their story with a national audience.
We have to honor Pierce's memory, and we need to be there to fight for him. He's no longer here to do that.
DJ and Wendy, thank you for being here.
Thursday night, DJ Corcoran and his wife Wendy spoke on Fox News about the recent loss of their son in a car crash and the illegal immigrant blamed for the deadly wreck.
His actions matter, and what he did was irresponsible. He was here illegally for 14 years, and he made no attempt to become a legal citizen.
What do you want to hear from him?
Remorse, and that he understands maybe that he should have done things differently.
In their first appearance on a national broadcast Monday, the Corcorans voiced frustration with the politics and symbolism of the immigration debate.
All this debate on the wall right now, and that seems to be the hot topic. Will the wall stop everybody? No, but it's a deterrent.
The Knoxville couple followed up 3 days later with even more pointed criticism.
The wall is a symbol to the American people that the government is listening to them, listening to our concerns.
And in our interview, this grieving mother and father went on to blame leaders in Washington for failing to tackle the root cause, complexity, and cost of illegal immigration.
There are people that are here illegal, and there are people here that are exploiting them. Those people are exploiting their talents, paying them little wages. Look at the incident, I think it was in Granger County.
On Fox News last night, the Corcorans said the government owes the American people more right now, adding, "Our government has failed us." East Tennessee Representative Tim Burchett did his first live cable TV interview this week as a congressman, and he spoke with Russia Today about the shutdown and working in the Capitol in a Republican minority in the House. He brings a new take to the shutdown. Instead of denying blame, he says we all share it.
I think the American public, we're all to blame for what's going on. We've sat around and let this happen, and it's that old throwing that frog into a pot of boiling water, he'll jump out, but if you put him in a cold pot of water and you just gradually turn the heat up, that's what happens, and we've gradually turned the heat up on our country.
Congressman Burchett stressed the need for compromise. He says all of us being a bit uncomfortable may be a sign of doing that, and you can watch that full interview right now on our website and the RT website as well. A Knoxville family is mourning the death of their young daughter killed in what police say was a drunk driving crash in Lenoir City. Kristen was just 21 years old. Police say the suspect had prior DUIs, and 10 News reporter Stephanie Haynes spoke to her family about how they are trying to move forward and seek justice.
She was just such a free spirit, and her smile just lit up any room that she walked into.
Stephanie Sensabaugh and her husband Robert are heartbroken over the death of their daughter Kirsten.
We're mourning really, really bad right now.
Kirsten was killed in what police say was a drunk driving crash on Highway 321 in Lenoir City on November 19th. Two other girls, Kirsten's friend and cousin, were inside the car. Her cousin was seriously injured and the friend was okay.
My last words for her was, "I love you and be safe." And I never expected that to be my last words to her.
Police say the driver in the other car is 46-year-old Tracy Lee Oliver, and the arrest report says this was his third DUI arrest. Police found cash, drugs, beer, and a gun in his car. He is out on a $150,000 bond.
All because someone decided to get behind the wheel while intoxicated.
Still, they want to remember the good about their daughter, how she loved her family, and hope that no one else has to go through the same pain.
We're trying to go on day to day because I know that she would want us to spread all the love that she's spread. I just want those who get behind the wheel intoxicated to be off the streets. I just don't want anybody else to feel the pain that we're feeling right now.
That was Stephanie Haynes reporting. We did reach out to the suspect in this case. He said he did not want to comment and is expected back in court next month.
We want to check the roads now on this Friday. Ed Rupp is in the traffic center. Ed.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Happy Friday. We're doing fairly well. Now, you may have heard earlier about a big tractor trailer wreck happened around 1 o'clock southbound on 75 near Merchants Road. Those lanes have been cleared. We haven't got rid of all the volume, but those lanes have been reopened on 75. Starts you out 40 westbound coming out of downtown. A little bit drag there as you travel 40 west out around Alcoa Highway. Up on 75 traffic, still a bit of a backup as we mentioned from an earlier wreck down around Merchants Road. So our drive times are still in the, well, they're in the yellow, but they were in the red, deeply in the red there just a little while ago. So far, so good. Alcoa Highway traffic, be extra careful through that construction zone and watch out for those pesky potholes that keep popping up all over the place. We will keep you updated in the 10 News Traffic Center. Guys?
All right, Ed, thanks.
Flu season is in full swing. We're going to see how millions of Americans are feeling it and whether you need to be concerned.
What's that lurking in our mountains? See the creation that is embracing the peaceful side of the Smokies.
I just want to make sure that it won't happen again.
These East Tennessee middle schoolers are committed to preventing another deadly wildfire, so much so that they're taking their fight to space. We will let them explain. A food server accuses Knoxville restaurateur Mike Chase of making lewd and offensive comments while she was waiting on his table. Anna Tipton Budzinski is suing Chase, his Copper Cellar restaurant group, and its HR director for more than $10 million. She has worked about 5 years at the Copper Cellar West restaurant on Kingston Pike. She alleges Chase harassed her repeatedly the night of December 18th, commenting about her looks and talking about having sex with her. She claims he's done it before and also claims HR did not take her complaint seriously. Chase, who has filed paperwork to run for Knoxville mayor, could not be reached for comment.
Flu season may be peaking already. The Centers for Disease Control says millions of Americans have battled that bug. Tens of thousands of patients have been hospitalized. Erica Edwards reports on that growing number of cases.
An estimated 6 to 7 million people have had the flu so far this season. Half went to their doctor for help, and up to 84,000 others were so sick they had to be hospitalized.
This is the first year that we're actually reporting these numbers during the season, and going forward, we're going to report them every week.
The latest report from the Centers for Disease Control finds widespread flu activity in 30 states. Adult flu deaths are not officially counted, but 16 children have died. Experts say it's not too late to reap the benefits of a flu vaccine.
We know the vaccine reduces outpatient visits, hospitalizations, ICU admissions, and can be life-saving in children.
Beyond the shot, pediatricians offer these tips for flu season.
Stay home when you're sick. Keep your kids home from school when they're sick. Practice good hand washing.
Flu season is expected to last at least another month. Erica Edwards, NBC News.
Now, last season, 80,000 people died after catching the flu. The CDC's new report shows that Tennessee outbreaks remain regional. UT Medical Center reports that it's testing more than 30 patients daily for the flu. Last week, just 4 of those came back positive. No one has died at the hospital from the flu this season. And at East Tennessee Children's Hospital, 56 patients tested positive for the flu in the first week of the year. That is the first decrease in cases the hospital has seen since late November. The week before, it saw 79 cases, and that makes more than 270 cases of flu this season.
A local mother who lost her son to addiction has made it her mission to help anyone facing the same battle. Jan McCoy's 22-year-old son Dane died of an overdose in 2014, and since then it's been her mission to educate people and raise awareness about addiction. She organized an addiction summit called Hijacked in Maryville today, and she says the turnout was incredible. Hundreds of people showed up to learn more about addiction.
And I think if I would have known what was going on inside of his head, I would have been able to help him a little bit more.
More than 100 people showed up to that summit to hear from former addicts and healthcare professionals. Tonight on the Night Beat, we will show you how Jan McCoy keeps her son's room the same way it was before he passed away, and more on her mission to help others.
All right, let's talk about the forecast and take a trip back in time to last weekend when we could wear shorts outside.
It was nice, wasn't it?
It was very nice, fleeting, but now it's reality and it's cold outside, Todd.
Yeah, this past weekend, lots of sunshine. Let's see, I think it was 54 on Saturday, 62 on Sunday, and then we hit 70 on Monday. Wow. And it was 37 yesterday. We made it back in the mid-40s today. Hope you're having a great Friday.
Well, if you're heading to the mountains this weekend, you want to take a very close look. You may be able to spot a magical creature that's moved in. Check this out. This is Leo the Enlightened, the 20-foot tall sculpture made from recycled and local wood. He is the work of Danish artist Thomas Dambo. Dambo says he was commissioned to build the troll on private land in the Smokies. This was the 14th troll he built this year.
For me to be able to build these sculptures in the middle of all this is just a really nice feeling, and also I hope it will give other people that feeling of coming out and experiencing this.
That's stunning. Dambo says Leo is a peaceful, nature-loving troll. Some people say they've spotted him from afar. Coming up on 10 News at 6, we will tell you where he is.
Ever wonder who's behind all those tricked-out cleats we're seeing athletes wear? Well, we're going to show you the designer and the workshop that needs a second look next. One man in Dallas is being recognized for his special talents customizing cleats, and now he is designing and creating football cleats for inside enemy lines. Yes, Fred Fields is a Rams fan who makes one-of-a-kind cleats for NFL players all inside a little sunroom in his apartment in Dallas. His latest project is creating shoes for Rams defensive end Michael Brockers. Brockers will wear them Saturday against the Cowboys. Fred is doing all this in his apartment right in the middle of rival territory.
You probably don't want to just go around telling people that you're a Rams fan out here, though.
Again, he will be at Saturday's game along with those custom-made shoes created for Rams players. The Rams and Cowboys aren't the only matchup this weekend as the NFL playoffs continue. The Chiefs and the Colts also go head-to-head. Are you ready?
On Judgment Day, I won't fade away.
It started with us, and let's show them who the real top dog is in this AFC. You heard me?
Hey, there ain't nothing better than this right here. Fly around, do your job, and come out with the win. Let's go!
All right, now we're ready. Coverage starts right here on Channel 10 at 3 in the afternoon with Football Night in America. Kickoff is set for 4:30. The Lady Vols are in a tough slump to start SEC play. We'll talk about how they plan to dig out of it coming up in sports.